for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here, back to the video, and today I'm bringing you guys another blitz and coverage defense. This one's going to be out of the nickel 3-3-5 odd formation. Now this is going to be the Gut Fox blitz. All credit goes to him for the blitz, and obviously I'm going to go over the blitz a little bit, but I'm going to be more focused on the coverage behind it. Again, didn't really want to talk about the blitz too much, make a whole video on it. So I'm going to be focused on the coverage behind it, a couple of ways I like to use this blitz and create good coverage concepts behind it. Now, again, I will leave his video down below in the description. He also talks about how to block this blitz, so if you want to know that, again, his links will be down below in the description. Shout out to him. He is the one who found this blitz. So 3-3-5 odd formation. We're going to be in the Giants defensive playbook. Again, I'm going to talk about the blitz setup briefly, but we'll be focused on coverage adjustments behind it. Now, if you don't know how to run the blitz, you need a linebacker or DN or whatever. You just need a player under 80 agility and it works. So Taron Muse actually just went through all the depth charts, and he actually has under 80 agility, but he actually has 90 speed. So he's definitely one of the fastest players. Speed, when I was running this a little bit online, it doesn't really affect it too much. I've noticed between like 80 and 90 speed, it doesn't really change how fast he gets there. But again, more speed is going to be a little bit better. Now, the plays we're going to be running is just going to be the Sam Mike 1 and Tampa 2. Those are the two plays that we're going to be running today. Now, one thing I'm going to do is adjust my zone drops. What I like to do is have flats on 20 and curl flats on 5. Again, we're starting out with man coverage, and then we will move on to the zone coverage setup. Again, Giants defensive playbook. Now, make sure that you just throw them on that outside linebacker spot, and you are good to go. The DNs don't matter, nothing like that. I like to run it on the left side. You can really run it on either side. I've noticed that the left side, I think, is a little bit better, but again, doesn't make too big of a difference. We're just going to come out in a random play. Let's go with this. Let's go with curls combo. It doesn't really matter, but here we are. We're going to start out again with the Sam Mike 1, and what we're going to do is just spread our defensive line, and we're going to spread our linebackers, just like that. Just spread the two players, and then QB contain. Again, the player that's going to be coming off the edge is that outside linebacker, and we will just snap it blocking 5. You will notice he's going to run around the edge. Again, the reason people like this Sam Mike 1 better than just stock 2-man under is because this safety right here is already on a blitz, and if you didn't know, when a player is on a blitz, he is going to go ahead and get faster agility, things like that, just cleaner cuts when you're usering. So that is the reason. Again, I'm going to go over the blitz a couple of times, and then we will get into the back end adjustments, but let's just snap the ball for now. Again, you see him kind of loop around. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a better blitz against certain formations. I noticed when I went into empty, he's going to get a little bit of a cleaner cut. Obviously, it seems like the backfield is a little bit less compressed. It is obviously better, so spread sets, it's going to be a little bit better against. That's why I went with a tight end on the line and a running back in the backfield, just to show you that, again, it does work against like compressed sets, pretty much every formation. So you saw the outside linebacker completely looped around and got that pressure. Again, it's a very quick setup. Just spread the line, spread those linebackers contain. Again, we will snap the ball, and you see that Tanner Muse, he's going to completely loop around that left tackle. Nothing he can do about it. Very, very annoying blitz, because the next thing, we're going to start talking about our coverage defense. So we're going to set the blitz the exact same, but what we're going to do is you don't actually have to blitz every single person on the line. He will loop regardless on if you're rushing 1 or 4. Now, I do recommend rushing more than 1 because there are certain ways to block it again. So we're just going to start out with this 3-man setup. What I like to do, again, we're going to set the blitz the exact same, but we're going to press our DBs, then we're just going to shade over the top base. So that's the first step. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to throw this wide defensive end in a curl flat. Again, our curl flats are playing 5 yards, so he's going to help out on drags from the tight end, things like that. Then what we're also going to do is throw this LB safety in a curl flat. When you press, he actually goes over to the strong safety position, so you don't have to move him at all. And then again, you see everybody is manned up. We still got our user on a blitz. So again, we added a couple of adjustments. This is probably the best way to run man coverage in my opinion. Again, make sure you just press it over the top so you do not get burnt. And we will go ahead and snap the ball. You see Tanner Muse, he's still going to run around the edge. We rush 3, we still got that same pressure in the exact same amount of time. So again, just gives us a little bit more options on the back end. So we just pressed our DBs, we spread our D-line, we spread our linebackers, and we contained. We threw R1 or L1 into a curl flat and Y into a curl flat. So again, basically we're just adding 3-4 adjustments. Really, if you get those blitzing adjustments down, it's going to be second nature to you. And overall, I do think this defense is going to take over. I'm surprised I haven't seen it online. I mean, I have seen it online, but again, you see guys like Throne, people are going to start catching on to this. Throne did run this in his recent video, but again, we'll snap the ball. Same adjustments, 90 speed coming off that edge. In Ultimate Team, again, be careful. You got that sprinter that's going to take away agility, or add agility. I'm not even sure. I think it adds agility, so be careful about that. But yeah, just get someone fast. Again, his overall doesn't matter. Tanner Muse, 65 overall, and you see he's coming through for us. Obviously, if he runs the ball, you want someone with better shed, but let's just show this man coverage play one more time, and then we will move on to Tampa 2. This time I'm going to block my running back. Set up the blitz, again, the exact same. Throw Y in a curl flat, throw LB in a curl flat. Let's block our halfback this time. Now, sometimes the running back will get pressure or will pick it up, even though he's on the opposite side. The way you avoid that is you can throw this player on a spy, but again, be careful, because if you throw him on a spy and the running back's out on a route, he could quick throw that, so be on top with your user. We'll snap it, and that time he's not going to pick it up. So again, you see the running back blocking didn't help. Obviously, if you motion him over, he's more likely to pick up the block, but then again, just the threat of a blitz is utilizing one of your opponent's motions, and he can't motion anybody if he motions that running back over. So you're forcing him to either flip his play or use one of his motions. I'll show the man coverage setup one more time. This is what it looks like. Obviously, if I want him to play deeper, I can just shade underneath, shade over the top, get those cloud flats on the field, and then maybe I want one side playing cloud flat, one side playing a curl flat. So my left side's playing 5 yards, my right side's playing 20 yards. That's a good way to mix it up. Again, spying I think is a little bit more effective than having the man coverage, but it should work regardless. I've just noticed sometimes the running back will get over there if he's manned up instead of defending that spy or whatever, but there we go. So that was his man coverage setup. Again, there's a couple of other things you could do to it. You could obviously run it stock. You can have that safety help over the top if you notice him burning you or you have a speed disadvantage. But let's move on to a zone setup. Again, this blitz works out of any play, so cover 3, cover 2. Let's move on to cover 2. I'm a bigger fan of cover 2 this year than cover 3, and I'll tell you why. But again, we're just going to set up the blitz setup. I'll show you once that it does work. Again, just running it relatively stock, same blitz, and that time I think I might have messed up one of the adjustments, but you saw him kind of loop around. We'll set that up again. But again, this isn't a guaranteed blitz, or it's not guaranteed to work. It is still pretty effective though. So set it up the same. What we are going to do though is just simply throw both these outside guys in curl flats. That's going to be our first adjustment, just a double flat. I like to press because the cloud flats, they're playing 20 yards down the field, so they're not going to press anyway. They just play outside routes a little bit better, quick throws to the outside receivers. Obviously with your user, I recommend putting him on a blitz. But yeah, this is just the first setup, and you still have the 4-man setup, so it's still going to be effective. We will snap the ball again. In there you see the looping pressure. Doesn't look as clean as the man coverage one, but it still gets the job done. Again, we are in a little bit of a compressed set. Having this against empty spread, it's going to work a little bit better, look a little bit cleaner for you guys, but audible to Tampa 2. Again, if you come out in Tampa 2, you won't have those motion, things like that, but just for the base setup, you're going to set up the blitz, spread linebackers, spread DNs, contain, and then throw Y in a curl flat and throw X in a curl flat. Put your user on a blitz, and we are good to go. Again, you will see him get around that tackle. And I'm not even really usering, I'm just kind of watching the blitz, but you see the coverage downfield pretty good. You can't quick snap a flat route. You got pretty good zones down the field, so if he tries to get a streak on the outside, it's not going to work. But let's move on to another setup I like to go with. And this one's going to be another 3-man setup. We're going to set up the blitz the same, but what we're going to do is have a little bit help over the top, because if he ends up blocking it, you have the middle of the field wide open for a deep post or a streak. So we're going to throw Littleton here in a middle third. We're going to throw Y still in the curl flat, but what we're going to do is throw our Y D lineman now in the curl flat, similar to what we did against man coverage. And now we can actually use our Jeff Heath on the outside. One thing I forgot to mention is that you can throw safeties at linebacker. So you see Jeff Heath, here he is at linebacker, he is a safety. I did not sub out Littleton, but again, you can get 2 safeties there. I highly recommend doing that for coverage purposes. But yeah, we got the safety right here. 3-man setup, I would recommend rushing 3, but you can also rush 2. You can kind of man up one of those D linemen on the running back for zone purposes. Again, you see the pressure. So I'll just show it a couple more times with this setup. Again, we're setting up the blitz the exact same. We are going to throw Y in a curl flat zone. We're going to throw the Y DN in a curl flat zone, throw A. And obviously I could keep A in this mid-read. Maybe I want to use her A. It doesn't matter. But usually I like to get that help over the top. And then you can bring him down. He still plays over or middle routes pretty well. He's just going to also help on those deeper routes. So you see, really, if you don't have Gunslinger, this play is going to torch you. So Gunslinger is a really important ability to have in the future when this becomes more popular online. But yeah, you see, very, very good blitz. I'll throw in one more little setup you can do, and that would probably be to just do something like this. Get some athletic people on the D-line for instances where you would run a setup like this. And you can actually like man up the D tackle. You can obviously get a D end there. You can get, I think Montez Sweat is listed as a D end. He is one of the better players to do this in Mutt with, the new Montez Sweat card. But also just get a really fast D end at D tackle, and then you can like man up the running back if he's on an angle route or a table route. It's gonna do a pretty good job at defending that. You see we rush 2, and we're still gonna get pressure. So only rushing 2. I like to keep both D ends rushing usually, but again, I could rush the D tackle instead of that D end. But that's pretty much going to do for the video. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, go check out GutFox. The links will be down below. If you want to know how to block this, go to his video. Again, links down below. Follow me on Twitter. My links will be down below to that. And yeah, peace. I'm out of here.